Hello! Happy New Year! For me, it's actually still 2025. I'm pre-filming this, but New Year's is 4 days away. And I am actually really excited for this coming year. I probably feel this every year, but I feel like next year is gonna be even more special because I finally have my entire garden set up. I mean, there's a few minor things still left to do, but I have all of the beds finished, the irrigation system. So this year it's just ready for me, and that's so exciting because this is my 4th year growing, which is absolutely crazy, but I feel like I know what's working and what's not working, like for me personally, but also for my climate here, and kind of like what time I actually can spend in the garden. Now that I have a baby, it's gonna be a little bit easier this summer because he's starting kindergarten. We'll see what I will do because this is still not my job. I don't work with YouTube yet, unfortunately. I would love to do that. I am like touching on the possibility like all the time, but it's so hard, and I get why it's hard. It does require quite a lot, and I'm so thankful for you that are watching and commenting and liking and all of that. That means so much to me. If you're new here, welcome. I really hope that you can gather some tea or coffee and maybe a notebook and your seeds, because this is the most exciting time to plan out the upcoming growing season and going through the seeds and just And I have this whole box. This is actually a photo organizer. I bought this on Amazon. It has a lid you can close and a handle you can carry. It is so practical. And then there are these individual organizers in plastic so you can see what you have inside. So this one is actually already full and organized. This is all the seeds I'm gonna sow quite soon, actually. From January I'm gonna sow them. And this is a perennial and native garden I'm gonna sow by our cabin. I've talked about this a few times. If you're not new, you probably already know this. And some of these varieties are also like protected on the verge of extinction. I don't know if that's how you say it in English, but they are like super rare, I guess, nowadays in nature. So I'm really happy to be a host of these plants here, native plants, and it will bring so much to the nature, the animals, the insects. It's gonna look so pretty. I'm not gonna go through every single seed package. I'm just gonna go through like overall. I can give like an honest review and kind of the changes I want to make, just my random thoughts for this coming season. I have a super pretty echinacea here called Paradiso Yellow. It's so pretty. Together with these sage Marla Blue, like these two together. I'm just so excited for this. So these are all the seeds I'm gonna start quite soon. And something that I actually did 2 years ago is my wildflower meadow outside here, and I'm gonna try to redo it. I have like a big box of wildflower seeds so that I have the whole meadow full of food for the pollinators, and it's just so pretty to look at outside the window here. So instead of having like weedy spots everywhere, because we're still, you know, building up a nice garden for ourselves, we're not quite there yet. So I'm gonna find some really nice spots just to spread out for my pollinators. One other thing is that I am getting married this summer. So one thing I'm gonna try to focus on is finding a few spots here and there to load up with cut flowers for like tablescape and my bride bouquet. So I have a whole lot of cut flowers already, but I'm probably gonna buy some more, and that's kind of why I'm going through this. And I do want to have a lot of green, which I actually don't have. I want it to be like wild looking, rural and like countryside-esque. So yeah, obviously I'm gonna have a lot of cut flowers from this native perennial garden too. And some of them don't have pictures, but this is a white bluebell. Very pretty. I can like put pictures on the screen here. And then we have the GM, also a native plant. it has this like yellow red-ish tones to it, which suits really well with the echinacea. And then the clarkia, which is this dusty pink. I have some pincushion flowers, kind of the same, like purpley pink-esque. And then I have this like pop of bright blue. These nigellas here, it's gonna be absolutely stunning. So I kind of want it to be, oh, and I also have white. I have this white lace. And then of course I'm gonna have some sunflowers because I love sunflowers. I have this ice cream sunflowers that's a little bit more petite and it has a little bit of cream and yellow. It's gonna look so nice with these colors here. And I really, really hope that my hollyhocks will flower this summer. It would be perfect. I'm gonna pop it up on the screen here, but that's kind of like a yellow-greenish kind of to fill out the bouquet. So I do have that, but I kind of want to have something else that's green. But I'm just gonna absolutely pack in as much of these seeds that I have in different areas in the garden. I'm just gonna pour soil over, work it in with some compost and just spread out. I want my bouquet to be full, not covering myself in the dress, but I just want it to be a statement. All right, so the flowers are a big part of this year's garden, mostly due to the wedding. Actually, I should probably mention my beneficial flowers that are going into the beds. A bunch of different marigolds. I also saved a whole bunch of marigold seeds because that's my most favorite beneficial flower. Sweet alyssum, and it's called Carpet of Snow. So this will fill out like the bottom of the beds. They can drive off pests for my tomatoes, for example. You know, if I have indeterminate tomatoes, the ground is usually pretty bare unless you have peppers or whatever. But I want this to kind of be a ground cover, and this smells good. So this attracts ladybugs, and they prey on pests like thrips, caterpillars, and aphids. And maybe even caterpillars, but aphids is the most common pest that I have on, for example, tomatoes or flowers. So I hope this will attract some good, nice, beneficial insects. And this purple basil, I consider it a flower for me. So I'm gonna put it in with the flowers. I absolutely loved this. I got seedlings from my mom and they grew so huge and the pollinators loved it. I've been raving about it the whole summer. And then here I got corn and artichokes. I would love to have a whole row of artichokes somewhere in the garden. They crave so much sun and I just don't have the space for it, honestly. Or I haven't made the space for it, so I might actually not do that this year. First time without it. So let's head into the next one, which is probably gonna be one of the boxes I'm gonna reach for earliest in time. My like cold hardy crops. Spring and fall crops. Here I have a black radish. Pickled black radish is one of my favorite things ever. And some parsnips, always have that on hand. And then carrots is one of my favorite things to grow. I have both summer and winter carrots. I do have quite a lot. Yes, celeriac, I really loved growing celeriac. I'm so excited to grow this again. I'm gonna try to do it much earlier this year because they take forever to get some size on them. And celery, I always have that, but I have been kind of downsizing every year. I started off with like 5 bunches or something, and then last year I had 2, and then maybe this year I'm gonna have only 1. So I only need like 1 tiny seed. They are truly prolific. I have some beets, more carrots. I loved growing beets this year. I love the round beets. I have these long ones. I didn't like them as well. I'm not gonna grow them this year. And I want yellow beets, like golden boy or something. In Swedish it's called polka. Choga, or I don't know what it's called. I'm gonna pop the name, but they have this pink and white swirl inside. So pretty. So yeah, more beets is my take. I do still have some cooked in the freezer actually. And then like different cabbages and brassicas. I did not get one single Chinese cabbage for kimchi. On this package at least, it says to sow it in like July, August, and then you can harvest it in September, October. But that did not work because we are so pest-ridden late summer. Caterpillars, they're just eating it up, and I don't want to spray anything. I want to keep it organic, and so I'm gonna try to have a go at this early spring instead. Broccoli rabe, I think this is called. It's like tiny bouquets of broccoli instead of big heads. I did have quite a good success with my point cabbage. Fennel's a favorite, I always have that. Kohlrabi, always have that, such a nice thing. Broccoli and cauliflowers, I just haven't had the best success, to be honest. You can, you know, it's trial and error with gardening, that's so much fun, but it took up a whole bed of mine, which is quite a huge bed. And I got just tiny heads, and some of them didn't even form heads, and then caterpillars came. I'm actually quite blessed to live in a country where I can find such good quality of produce. But some things I think taste better homegrown, and also a more spread of varieties. Cauliflowers and broccoli is so easy and cheap to buy in the store for good quality. So I might not grow that this year. And yes, I'm getting to the good stuff. Maybe you're all waiting for the bell peppers and the tomatoes and all of that. I always enjoy sowing pak choys. They're so quick and so delicious in the spring, like tender and sweet. Then here I have lettuce. I just have a mix from arugula, like purple and green lettuce. I know I have spinach somewhere here too, it's gonna pop up, I'm sure. Then here is my bell peppers and chilies. So I tried a few different snacking bell peppers this year. I have some favorites for sure. I don't know how to pronounce, Raisin or something like that. It's a small red snacking pepper. I really enjoy this. I'm gonna sow that one for sure. I also have like California Wonder, but I usually just grow snacking bell peppers because we have such a short growing season. So the smaller the more I get, basically. Like chili pepper wise, I have padrons. These were so spicy. I'm not kidding, like we couldn't even eat this. This is what you get with padrons. You either get mild or spicy, you don't know. And I want to know. So I bought shishito peppers last year. They were perfect. I like to blister them in a pan and eat them kind of like padrons, but non-spicy. I have like 4 seeds in here. I'm gonna have so many more shishito peppers. I love it. Anaheim chili, just a regular red chili. I have like usually just 1 plant of this just to keep on hand. And jalapeno, always a must. Love jalapenos. But I enjoyed making cowboy candy. I like eating them fresh. I want a lot of shishitos and jalapenos. I have grown this sweet banana chili peppers before. I don't like that. Tomatoes. Yay! Always so much fun. I tried a dwarf variety of tomatoes last year. I did not enjoy this. They barely got any color, any flavor. They were just so tight and curl up and bushy. Like I did not enjoy that at all. It was this one called Vilma. And we'll see, maybe I will try it in a pot and keep it on our deck here for one last try. We'll see. But then I have a dwarf variety called Aztec, which is a yellow variety. It's kind of small and compacted, but not like tiny as this one. So these are my like dwarf varieties, I guess. I'm not gonna grow San Marzanos this year because I found a new love. Roma tomatoes. I have Brandywine yellow and Oxheart orange as like beef steak kind of like slicing tomatoes, I guess, that are like on the yellow side. And this Brandywine yellow has been really mealy, like grainy. I have tried this so many times now. I'm not gonna give it another chance. I did enjoy this Oxheart orange. I'm gonna grow this one this year along with a Determinate yellow variety, which I don't have. So that's gonna be so much fun to try a new variety of tomato this year. I have a few varieties that I'm not currently growing. I used my last Sun Gold seeds last year, so I'm gonna have to try to think hard if I wanna grow indeterminate tomatoes this year. I'm gonna, I think, try only determinate just for this year and see. So I might have to swap out my favorites, which is Sun Gold and black cherry tomatoes, for a determinate style of, you know, like similar to those two, because we're gonna remove the temporary trellis that I have until we can build a better structure, which is probably not gonna be this year. I'm a little bit uncertain on the tomato department, but I think I have a good idea. As for beans and peas, I like to grow sugar snap peas, edamames. I grew it last year and I got a few, but I want to grow so many more. I'm gonna try it again. And I grow faba beans for my fiance. He likes them. I don't, but he does. So other than that, I like green beans. I want more green beans. I'm out. Just different varieties. I might want to try like long beans and runner beans and yeah, more beans. Zucchini, squash, summer squash. I have Genovese summer squash. This is really prolific and I really like it. It's a summer squash called Disco. It's beautiful, it's prolific. I like it. But I do actually prefer just regular old zucchinis. So I want more varieties of that. So I have this Genovese, like light green one. I'm probably gonna try a few different varieties of zucchinis this year. Eggplants, I have Black Beauty and Patio Baby. Love both of them. I'm gonna grow both of them again. So that's that. I tried growing spaghetti squash this year. I've done some recipes on that. I'm not gonna do it again. I want more space for like butternut squash and like other vining crops. And then for like leeks and onions, I'm not gonna grow onions. I'm gonna grow leeks, like a whole lot of leeks. But onions, no. I've tried every year, fail every year. So I want to preserve that space for leeks. I like scallions too. And then here I have just more lettuce. Didn't know I have head lettuce, little gem. I have spinach here, winter giant, purple spinach. So I'm gonna put this together with the rest of the lettuce seeds. So I'm all set for lettuce and that feels so good because that's one of the first thing that I sow. Herbs. Not gonna go through them. I have every herb and I grow every herb every year because I love it. I even have some herbs that I took cuts from last year's garden. I rooted them and I have them upstairs in my growing room. So nice to have that all winter long. I love growing herbs. It's one of my favorite things. All right, so the last two. Here is my decorative pumpkins and winter squash. And I'm gonna buy more pumpkins. I was so excited about my pumpkin harvest this year or last year that I wanna grow more varieties. So decorative pumpkins, yes, I like this green one. I don't know what it's called, but I can pop it on the screen. But I have Turk's Turban, I have Crown of Thorns, I have Baby Boo, and these ones I already have seeds. I'm just getting through them. And as for winter squash, I have honey nuts that I saved seed from last year. I am gonna sow this one again because it was more prolific than this one. Didn't get a single one. And it could be because this variety is actually grown and cultivated in Sweden. And this one is not. I'm gonna try it again and see if it was just a mishap. I love honey nuts. I want to have so much more, but I'm probably just gonna grow more quantity. Melons, I haven't had a good success. I think they are needing a more warmer climate, I think. But I'm gonna have a little research. I know there are melons that I can grow here. So as for cucumbers, I have a snacking cucumber called Piccolino. It's an F1 variety. This one was really, really nice to have. It's just tiny snacking cucumbers. We don't go through a lot of cucumbers in this family, but we really enjoy a fresh cucumber. I only had one plant of this last year, so I'm probably gonna go a few more of this one. I also have just a regular vining cucumber. This is really prolific and really nice flavor on these ones. It was called Tanya. Pickled cucumbers. I have this one, but it was kind of bitter, but once I pickled them, it kind of disappeared. I don't know if that's for all of the pickled cucumbers, but I mean, they were small and that's perfect. But I want to try one more of pickled cucumber, and the one I have in mind is a Swedish variety called Västerås gurka. Västerås is the city I grew up in and it's really close to here. Really famous for their pickled cucumbers, so that would be really nice to pickle some more cucumbers because I really enjoy that. And that was it. I've gone through all of my seeds. What worked last year, what didn't, kind of my plans for this year's garden. Kind of want to see if I can get more color in my vegetables, like more purple, because that's really good for you. So in the beets, for example, they already purple variety, but then I'm gonna try the yellow ones, like more color. I wanna maybe try chard to see what that's like. For the cherry tomatoes, the determinate style cherry tomatoes, I'm gonna try to find a really purple tomato and a yellow one. And then I have the San Marzano or the Romas for the red regular tomato. So here is all of the things that I'm gonna purchase, and it's not a lot actually. It's green and white, like flowers to fill out my bouquets and tablescape for the wedding. The, as I said, yellow beets and the more swirly beets, and more shishitos because I don't have enough, and then one more variety of a snacking bell pepper. I want to buy 2 different determinate style cherry tomatoes, and then maybe 1 determinate like beefsteak. More green beans or different kind of beans, different varieties of zucchini, decorative pumpkins, more varieties. And I'm gonna try to see if I can find a melon that I can grow here. And then that's pickling Västerås cucumber. So that's it. And I got a gift card for Christmas this year to buy seeds. So one of these coming days I'm gonna go and see what I can find. I usually order them online, which I probably will still do, but it's so much fun to go to the store and see, you know, physically what they have. I'm very like a tactile person. So I can bring you along for that and show you all of the seeds I ended up purchasing. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching this part. I hope it wasn't too long-winded and chatty, but it was nice having you along with me for this.